What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Monday, people. We are now on the countdown to Arsenal being back this week. We play on Saturday against Leeds United. International break starting to finish, which is always good. I have to admit, there's been a few decent games, but it's just not the same. I thought I would start the show off with a picture of Antonio Conte. He realised something that we all knew for the last 20, 30 years, that Spurs are crap. And it's taken its toll on him. Let's be real. When Conte came to Tottenham, one of the best managers in the world, you know, picture of health. He's left Tottenham, you know, the toupee is all over the place. The man's had operations. His health's all over the place. Grey hairs. The man looks miserable. Free him, man. Free him. Free. Somebody just said in the comments, man, free Conte and free Young Thug, man. It's all going off right now. But yeah, man, he tried a thing. Yeah, it was the face of a man that thought he could rescue, you know, that toilet football club. And, you know, it all falls down. Sorry, I had to sing. I couldn't help it. It was in my mind, people. Kanye West, big tune back in the day. If you know, you know. But Conte, yeah, man, you mash up. Go and look after your health, man. There ain't nothing anybody can do for that football club. Man's having operations because his health's mashed up. Free the guy, Conte. Free the guy, Young Thug. The game is the game. Leave that toilet alone, man. I'm telling you, Mourinho, all of you, stay away from it. Arrivederci to Conte. Free him, man. Go and enjoy yourself, man. You know, just leave the cleaner to clean that toilet, man. You can't deal with that mess there, man. It all falls down, man. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. Antonio! Antonio! Do you know what I like about Antonio? The man went out and said, listen, man. You think I'm just leaving without speaking the truth, man? Said, you bold fraud. Daniel Levy. Yeah, your team. You're not hungry. I love it. I love it. Conte, no trophy. He realised there's nothing I can do. And he'll go and get a good job in Italy. He'll end up at Inter or AC or Juventus. So, yeah, man, good luck to him, man. Big C got the vocals like Selena. We got to try. It was in my head. You know, when it's there, I have to sing it, people. So, bear with me on that one. But, yeah, arrivederci to a man like Antonio Conte. I remember Toby singing his name when he got the job. I wonder who he's singing now, people. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's focus on bigger and better things. Let's not talk about that toilet of a club. But then let's move on and let's talk about the England game yesterday. Do you know what, the England versus Italy game, I only watched about 20 minutes, I think, of that. It was background noise, but I did actually watch the game yesterday, England against Ukraine, obviously, because there was a couple of Arsenal players involved. Zinchenko was captain of Ukraine. Obviously, that Justin Bieber winger, Mudryk, was playing as well. And then obviously for England, Bukayo Saka. Ramsdale was there purely for vibes on the bench. He ain't going to get a kick, but he was there as well. And a couple of interesting things to take away from the game. Let's start with man like Saka, because, boy, he's turning the heat up. He's turning the heat up. You know, I said before that for me, maybe I'm a little bit old school with it. And I was saying that I wasn't sure that Saka was world class yet. But he's starting to perform like a world class player. I remember when Jadon Sancho went to Manchester United, a lot of people were saying, will Sancho, will Foden, will Saka get that right wing spot for England? Argument done. Argument finished. No argument. It's over. You know, there's no Sancho. I don't know where Sancho's at. Foden, obviously, is probably better playing more central. This guy, he's becoming one of England's best players. He's one of Arsenal's best players as well. And he's just going to a different level. He really is. And I'm going to put the first poll up of the day. Do you guys think that Saka is world class? Do you think that Saka is world class, or do you think he's not world class yet? Do you think he's nearly at world class? What sort of level would you say that Saka is? I think with me, again, I try and be quite open and balanced, people. I think sometimes my thought process was on how I viewed world class back in the day. I don't know. Maybe I have to move with the times. I would say he's nearly world class. My version of world class is that you've done it on the biggest of platforms, on the biggest of occasions. Have you been in the Champions League? He hasn't. That's not his fault. World Cup, he did well for England. I don't know. Let's see what the community think. Is Saka world class? Quite simple. Yes, no, or nearly is what we're going to go with. Yes, no, nearly. He's at least nearly world class if he's not world class. But what's your opinion? I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh with the judgment. I just think get Arsenal over the finish line, win as the Premier League, or go in the Champions League and start ripping it up. So I guess Kane is not world class. Yeah, but the thing with Kane's done it in the Champions League. Kane's won golden boots in World Cups. Kane's won golden boots in the Prem. I do still criticise Kane. He hasn't done it in the biggest games of his career, but I'm just asking the question. Would you say that Saka is world class? Fourth most valuable player in the world. Kai said, could he reach Salah numbers? That's interesting. Does he need to score more goals to become world class? Yes, Saka in 2 years will be insane. And that's the right answer. World class is subjective. It depends how you view world class. I saw a few of you just mentioning this picture, and I thought it was only right that we put that picture up. I think they say a picture says 1,000 words, and I think that picture definitely says a lot. Mudryk on the ground, eating grass on the Wembley pitch, as Saka skips away from him, which is beautiful. But world class is Mbappe level. I mean, if world class is Mbappe level, there's not many world class players, because I'd say Mbappe is the best player in the world. So it's difficult to look at it like that. Love that picture, Ickle Twerker. Yeah, man. And you could tell from Zinchenko's interview that Mudryk is still not happy about the fact he's not an Arsenal player. But it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Mud in the mud, yeah, exactly. Mbappe is GOAT level, yeah. I think he's at like the very top of world class. He's going to become a legend and icon. So I think using him as the benchmark is a little bit too high, to be honest. He's in the mud. Best right winger in the world, so he is neither world class or there aren't many good right wingers. I mean, I would say at the moment he's the best right winger around. I can't think of an actual right winger. You would have said Salah over the last few years. But listen, it's interesting. We'll leave the poll up for a little while. Kai said it's a hard question. I would say as a player, Mahrez is better technically, but Saka has all the potential in the world. I think now we've reached a point in football where output is almost more important than the technical side. I'll give you an example. You mentioned Mahrez there. I think Riyad Mahrez, technically, there aren't many players better in world football than him. If you look at his first touch, the way he manipulates the ball, he is unbelievable technically. As I said, I know somebody that works at Leicester. He goes around the Premier League with Leicester, watches all the teams. He says Mahrez is one of the best players he's ever seen in terms of technical ability close up. But he doesn't score Salah's numbers. Salah will get you 25 to 30 goals a season, even though Mahrez is technically probably a more natural footballer. So it's very subjective, isn't it? It's input, especially with wingers now. Wingers are the new strikers when you look around world football. A lot of the strikers are false nines. They're link-up players. And the wingers are getting 20, 30 goals. Mane, Sterling, Salah, all these guys picking up big numbers. So it's very different now. But listen, I appreciate the input. Saka will catch up to Mbappe in a few years. I mean, I'm not going to say that yet, Ramon. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. That's borderline a timeout comment, but we'll let it slide. It's Monday. It's been a long week. International break. Listen, I hope he does reach them levels, but Mbappe for me is the world's best. I don't think anyone's touching that level for the foreseeable future. If there's no one better than Saka at right wing and he isn't world class, performing in the best league in the world, the argument is a good point of looking at it. Saka is among the best in Europe. Balogun's at Mbappe's levels. I think he's 2 goals behind him. He's fasting, so we'll forgive him. Okay, the hunger might be making him hallucinate. But anyway, we'll keep it moving. A couple more things to just quickly pick out from that game. And one thing that was interesting, and you know me, I like to, talk about things, and we're a bit shameless with it. I can't play the video. Big C, I'm fasting, no time out. Ramon, we'll let it slide, bro. We'll let it slide. It's been a long week. Shout out to everyone fasted out there, man. If anybody saw this video, Zinchenko and Declan Rice hug, right? And Zinchenko hugs Saka afterwards. I love this from Zinny, by the way. Agent Zinny. Look at the way the man's punching Declan Rice in the back. He's letting him know, this ain't no normal hug. Gives him a little punch in the back. If you go and watch this video, if you haven't watched it, and Zach, yeah, we're probably getting totally carried away. I think Zinchenko says, "Are you joining?" And I'm being honest. I think he says, "Are you joining?" to Declan Rice. And Declan Rice appears to say, "We'll see. We'll see." I'm telling you, Zinchenko said, "Listen, bro, you better join or you're in trouble." But I'm telling you, Zinchenko says, "Are you joining?" I respect it, Zinny. You've only been at Arsenal about 7-8 months. You're doing the agent work already. And he then gives Saka a hug and a laugh and all that. Yeah, I think he says, "Yeah, are you joining? Are you joining?" And he said, "We'll see." So, is Declan Rice and Peas on his way to Arsenal? I think he is. I've got to be honest. The only thing that worries me about this deal is sometimes with Arsenal, when we're linked with a player so much, we don't sign them. I don't know, again, if this is the PTSD from back in the day. Yanam Villa, Gonzalo Higuain, Karim Benzema, Luis Suarez, all these players we were linked with for ages and never got any of them. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. But I think he is. I've got to be honest. I think he's coming to Arsenal this summer. Welcome to Chelsea, Declan Rice. You're probably right. You're probably right. Eco Howard. I mean, I was prepared to let the first one slide. Ramon is fasting. We'll let it go. He said Saka will be at Mbappe's level in a few years. It's wild, but sometimes we let wild. But this one, Eco Howard said, Mbappe is all about pace. Take the pace and you see an average player. Eco, 3 minutes. Consider your actions. Think about the comment. Maybe go on YouTube. I'm going to go full screen. 3 minutes. Just calm down. Maybe go and have a drink. Have a cup of tea. Consider your actions. Go on YouTube. Look at 3 minutes of Mbappe. Come back. And we'll have a chat and we'll try and sort things out. We can sort things out. That's the beauty of this channel. Arsenal therapy and all. So if we've got to have a quick Mbappe therapy, we can have one. The comment's outrageous. So I'll see you in 3 minutes and we'll have a conversation. It's like saying a Lamborghini is only, it's only about speed. If it didn't have speed, it'd be a Ford Escort. But it does have speed, so it's not a Ford Escort. It's wild. Borderline ban. It's close. It's close. Eco, we'll see you in 3 minutes. Josh Shaw says, big up Curtis. Saka is crazy consistent, but still not world class yet. He needs a little bit more sauce, in my honest opinion. Love him, though. For me, and people saying give him 3 weeks, not 3 minutes. I think Saka is becoming world class. I still don't think he's world class yet. Lead Arsenal to a title, that can push you, I just don't think he's been in them trenches enough yet. I don't think he's won them biggest games yet. He's getting there, but that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm a bit old school and a bit harsh with it, But big up Jashar with the super chat. Only a 3 minute timeout. If that was Xhaka, yeah, he'd be locked up. He'd be locked up. Mbappe is elite. If he was in the Premier League, he'd be doing Henry numbers. Listen, man, he's the best in the world for me. I see what he did to Van Dijk the other day. 2 goals for France. He's a beast, mate. Absolute beast. Curtis Saka has reached an entirely different level. Too much sauce. Ballon d'Or is literally a stone throw away. Again, it's a big stone's throw, man. That might be one of them stone's throws where, when you go to the seaside and you got to skim the stone across the water and it bounces about 4 times. That's a serious stone's throw, Craig. I can't lie. Killian, I love Saka. People, I love Saka as much as every Arsenal fan. Star boy, 21, came through the system. The sky is the limit. He can go wherever he needs to go. But Mbappe scored hat-trick at the Nou Camp. He scored 2 in a World Cup final. I think, it's Monday. I know we've had no Arsenal this weekend. Hey, people, what's happened this weekend? People, there's been some crazy nights out. Some of you have had a heavy weekend, man. I can't lie. You know what I mean? I can't keep throwing out timeouts. We'll have no one left in the community. I'll be like Ian Beale, I've got nothing left. Damn, a stone's throw. Maybe everyone's fasting. Forgive me, man. Anyone who's fasting, forgive me. Wild comments, man. I respect it. Damn. I love that. Craig's been in the community for a while as well. Stone's throw away from Mbappe. Geez, you better have a strong arm. That's a big stone's throw. I can't lie. Big C, even Turkish was talking crazy. This is international break. It's all mad. And you know what? When I see Turkish, I think I forget what he said. He said that our current front three can reach the MSN level of Barcelona or something like that. Don't quote me. It was something similar. I'll speak to him when I see him. Jerry said these comments are going too far with Saka. Somebody just said I'm showing my age. I'm still old school with the world class comparison, and I'm being too harsh. Paid money to get a timeout. Mbappe is clinical. Listen, let's move on. We'll be here all day. Joshua, big up Curtis. He was getting confused. Mbappe with bottle job. Uh-oh. I'll put the kettle on. Oh, no, don't. Jay, come on. Don't do that. The other fans do that, but we can't do that. You can't call Henry a bottle job. Listen, I know I have the same pain. Champions League finally hits it. What's in the water this weekend? What's everyone been drinking? Go and put that kettle on, Joshua. Big up yourself, though, bro. I said that's a ban for Turkish. I said AFTV is infected here. A lot of you are going to need to put the kettle on here, people. It's wild. It's a wild Monday out here, people. The hangry mob. You see what happens? One weekend of no Arsenal, and everyone's talking crazy. We've got Jashar calling Henry a bottle job. Eco's saying that Mbappe is a pace merchant. Turkish comparing Arsenal's front three to Messi, Suarez and Neymar. I don't know what's going on. It's wild. I've been off for 2 days. I expected a lot of balance, but damn, you had a good weekend, right? I respect it, people. I respect it. But anyway, let's move on. But anyway, in terms of what we were saying before, Zinchenko doing a bit of agent work, telling Declan Rice, are you joining? And Declan Rice said, we'll see. Go and watch the video. I might have totally misread it, but that's what everybody seemed to be putting. Top G said 38-year-old Ronaldo better than Haaland and Mbappe. I mean, Top G again, man. Yo, heavy weekend, yeah? 38-year-old Ronaldo is not better than Haaland or Mbappe. I don't think he's even ripping it up in Saudi Arabia, bro. I don't know what the hell. Did we have a community night out that I didn't know about, people? Was it free drinks? Get there before 11, you get in free. I don't know what's going on. Ronaldo got released by Man United at 38. I love Ronaldo. He's a GOAT of football, but we need to calm down. We need to calm down with CR7. But anyway, I should lock off the stream. I'm going to be honest that I feel I feel imbalanced right now. I'm all over the place. I just want to say something wild just to get on board with everyone else. Like, I don't know. I need to calm down. But anyway, let's get started. I weren't invited to the barbecue. I get it. I was critical of Edu last week. He had a community barbecue. I didn't get invited because I said he can't get money for anybody. And you've had a great weekend without me. I get it, people. I like the mood of you guys today. It's been a wild Monday. We need Arsenal games back just to calm down. Yeah, I'm all over the place. I don't even know where the next story is. But anyway, that's enough. Saka, goal, assist, man of the match. There's a poll there. Do you think he's world class? Just calm down with the crazy takes, you know. Joshua said, Ian, right. Forever Eagles. Okay. I thought you said you was like half a Palace fan and half a Arsenal fan. So calling on Ria bottle jobs just sent me over the edge, I think, to be honest. Curtis, can Jesus score 5 or more goals from our last 10? He has to. He has to. Let's be honest. If we're going to win the league, but he might not be starting. He's got to fight to get back in the team. Big up Polymation, big up Curtis Shaw TV every time. Anyway, we're 19 minutes in. It's been an absolute wild start, people. Anyway, let's get into a couple of stories, and let's see if you calm down with your comments. I will take that poll down shortly with Bukayo Saka. Anyway, let's move on to another story, people, and that is Leroy Sane, people. Leroy Sane. And this one's going to be another poll as well, because I can already see people in the comments with split opinions on this one. Big story going around today. Leroy Sane being linked with a summer move to Arsenal. Now, you've heard this story before. We were linked with him in the summer, right? There was real big links to him in the summer, and it didn't happen. And we were linked with him earlier in the season, and it didn't happen. Now, there is a little bit of different context in this story. Right, according to Bild, over there in Germany, Leroy Sane is considering a return to the Premier League this summer. And I'll tell you the reason. The reason is this. Leroy Sané's long-term girlfriend and child have been unhappy in Germany and have moved back to England. They were living with him in Manchester. They've then moved to Munich, but after an unhappy period, his girlfriend and child have moved to London. To where the point, Leroy Sane is being granted extra time off on a week-to-week basis in order to fly from Munich back to London to see his girlfriend and young child. He was spotted shopping in London over the weekend with his girlfriend, and it is believed he has become very unhappy in Germany without his girlfriend and young child. Understandable, family man. Your family aren't there with you. They're over there in England. And apparently it's now starting to cause problems with Bayern Munich, as he's asking for additional time off in order to commute to see them on a weekly basis. Listen, for me, he's going to want to leave this summer. I'm just saying as is. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if you're a real family man, and, you know, I get it. There are players that live away from their wife and child and stuff like that. But the fact that he's been with them and he's been with his child at a young age and raised them, and now they've left, it probably has left him unhappy. And it's believed that he is looking for a move this summer. Now, I'm going to end this first poll. 53% of you say that Bukayo Saka is world class, so you're going for it all out. 40% say no, and 7%, oh no, 40% say nearly, and 7% say no. So you're riding out for Saka. Majority of you saying he's world class. I've got a room here in London he can rent, said Anthony, bro. Get that done for him. Luke said, Banjashar forever. King Thierry is a sickness. You can't disrespect the king, man. You have to, you know. King's Disease. Who's that? That's Naz's album, right? Great album. I think they're up to King's Disease 3 now. But anyway, second poll of the day. It's quite simple. According to the report, Bayern would want to recoup, if they sold him, they would want to recoup the £50 million that they paid to get him from Manchester City. Right. Leroy Sane for 50 million to Arsenal this summer. Yes or no? I'm going to kick off with the first answer. Yes. All day long. I take him all day long. There were question marks over him when he did the knee injury. I think he's still a very, very good player. I've seen him a couple times for Bayern this year. 7 goals, 4 assists. I think he's still a class act, and I would take him. Listen, this season, 6 Champions League games, 4 goals. I don't see how... I find it difficult to believe any Arsenal fan would say no. I'm going to be honest. Now, there are a few of you saying no. I want to ask you why you would say that. Arsenal apparently are looking for a right winger, right? He's played right wing a lot of the time. He's played left wing as well. He's got 7 goals, 4 assists in 18 starts. So 11 goal contributions in 18 starts. 4 goals in 6 Champions League games and 1 assist. 1 goal in the Cup and 1 assist. Last season, he got 6 goals in the Champions League. He's still a player. 50 million. Listen, Cali says 50 million is too much. Listen, Mudryk cost 88 million pounds. 88 million for a guy that hadn't even played 50 games in the Ukrainian league. You're talking about Leroy Sane. He's a Premier League winner, an FA Cup winner, a League Cup winner, part of the 100 points club, 27 years of age, just turned 27, German international. 50 million nowadays is potential. You don't get top players for 50 million unless they're contracts. If you got Leroy Sane for 50 million pound, I would be laughing. I'd have a laugh along. I'd just laugh for 10 minutes. I would take him every single day of the week for 50 million pounds. All day long. He's worked with Arteta before. He knows Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko. He knows Arteta. He knows the Prem. His girlfriend and child are in London. I would take him all day long. Patrick said he isn't top anymore, but the reality is you've got Saka. Saka would be the right winger. You're bringing him in as competition. Compete with Saka. Compete with Martinelli. Compete with Trossard. I mean, Sané or Gnabry. Gnabry signed a long-term contract last summer, so we're not getting him. We're not getting him. I think he signed a 5-year or 4-year contract. So we're not getting Serge Gnabry. But Sané could definitely be available, especially if he forces this move out. Now, let's add a little bit of perspective, because there are some of you saying no, and I like knowing why. Give me the whole reason why. He does earn good money. He does earn good money. His weekly wage, Leroy Sané wages per week, he earns, he's on £220,000 a week. So he's definitely not on peanuts. 220 grand a week. So that's the downside of it. 220 grand a week plus £50,000 a week basic bonuses. So you would have to give him decent money. It's called Curtis. Obviously, Stillmatic is the album released by my favourite MC on my birthday. Hey, big up, man. Big up. Nas, one of my favourite rappers in the world, bro. Will Sané be willing to fight and be a bench player? That's a good point. At the moment, he's not starting for Bayern Munich. They've been playing Kingsley Coman. So, you've got to sell it to him as you are going to have a bit of a fight. But is he prepared to do it? Assassin, big up Curtis, 61k soon. If Arsenal were smart, they would tell Saka to have a word with Bellingham in the England camp. Surely his head would turn. Listen, let's be honest, and you've thrown me off this discussion a little bit here. I was watching Declan Rice yesterday. If Declan Rice comes to Arsenal, it is a positive move. I'll enjoy the signing because I think he can go to another level playing for a better team. However, let's be totally honest. There was one player on that pitch yesterday in midfield who I wanted at Arsenal, and that's Jude Bellingham. I spoke about it on Friday. People were saying I was delusional, and I get it. There's no way that Arsenal are going to get him. But as I said on Friday, why can't we get him is my question. But I just think Bellingham's outstanding. He really is. Latte said, we will win next year's Champions League if we sign Rice, Sané and Dumfries. Clip it. You think with the midfielder, the winger and the right back, that gives us a chance? I mean, that is a very doable window for Arsenal. You get Declan Rice for probably 75 million. You get Sané for 50. You get Dumfries for about 30, 100 and what? About 150 million. 3 players. You wouldn't need much more. You wouldn't need much more at all, but imagine Jude next to Thomas Partey. Listen, it'd be one of the best midfields, I think, in Europe. Partey, Bellingham and Odegaard. But anyway, it ain't going to happen, unfortunately, is it? We can't get him because of the owners. Why is no one looking at Max Aarons? Probably because he's in the Championship. We need a world-class attacking right back, I agree. KSC and the Kroenkes have never invested into this team, not really out of their own pocket. Barca getting Bernardo Silva for free. We are paying 50 million for Sané. The two are not in They don't affect either way. And I'm pretty sure, but is Bernardo out of contract? I thought it was Gundogan who was out of contract. Bernardo Silva's contract. Nah, he's got a year left as well, so they're not getting him for free. They're not getting him for free. He's it's Gundogan, I think, who they are talking about getting for free. They don't mean anything. You could flip it and say, all right, Jack Grealish cost 100 million. And you're getting him for 50. Man City won't sell us players anymore. No, they wouldn't. Gundogan out of contract this summer. He was being linked with us, wasn't he? Yeah, it's Gundogan. Yeah, Gundogan's out of contract. But Gundogan's 33, man. It's totally different. Barca love a free transfer as well. And they can always get them players on a free. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. The poll is up there. Would you take Leroy Sane at Arsenal for £50 million? Reports that he wants to move back to the Premier League. His girlfriend and child have moved to London after being unhappy in Munich. The player is commuting to the UK every week to see them. That apparently is causing problems at Bayern Munich. Arsenal, for me, need another winger. We're clearly interested. We tried to sign Rafinha. We tried to sign Mudryk. I think we need another player that can play on the right-hand side, that can challenge Saka. For me, £50 million, Leroy Sane, I would take him all day long. He's won big trophies. He's experienced the league. He's worked with Mikel Arteta. He's worked with Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. I would definitely take Leroy Sane for £50 million this summer. Let me know in the comments and let me know after the show, if you're watching on replay, whether you would take him. Let's end the poll. 73% of you saying you would take Leroy Sane and bring him to the carpet. 27% say no. And it will definitely be interesting. Listen, there's many great options. I can see some of you saying go and get Diaby. Some of you saying get Mitoma from Brighton. What you've got to understand at Arsenal now is this. When we're going for a winger, on the left-hand side, you've got Gabriel Martinelli, who we've just given 180 grand for 5 years. On the right-hand side, you've got Bukayo Saka, who is arguably our best player and about to sign a new deal for £200,000 a week for 5 years. Arsenal are probably not going to sign a winger that is better than Saka or better than Martinelli at this stage. They want players to come in and compete with those players and push them to another level. So, for me, if you can get a Sané for 50 million, because people saying Mitoma, we've seen what happens when we try and negotiate with Brighton. We walked away because we wanted to stay friends with them, and players like Leao are going to cost you 100 million, 90 million. So it's difficult. It's difficult. Diaby, they were quoting 100 million, although apparently they want a lot less this summer. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Mitoma is worth a look. It's the kind of move Arsenal will do. For the Asian market, I mean, listen, yeah, there is a lot of shirt sales in that market. You've seen with Tottenham, with Son, they're huge in South Korea. Mitoma would be, but listen, just as a footballer, he would be very exciting for Arsenal. You need serious competition. I bet fans saying no to Sané are saying one's twerking for Mudryk. Make it make sense. He's better than Mudryk. He's done way more than him, and this is what I'm saying. We've even dressed up Jorginho as a positive signing, so of course we should be taking Leroy Sane. Yogi said I'd rather strengthen the midfield first. Listen, it's summer window. We should be able to do both. Go and buy Declan Rice. Go and buy Leroy Sane. Why shouldn't we? Especially if we're champions. Pedro Neto. I think he's fallen off a little bit at the moment. Whoa, hey, big up DG, man. Jorginho praise from Curtin, bro. I'm saying what the community was saying. I can't lie, I wasn't happy with the deal, but I got to support it now until the end of the season. I just got to run with it. Big up DG, man. Make sure you go and subscribe to him, of course. But yeah, for me, Leroy Sané, man, all day long. Knows the league, lack of adjustment. Brennan Johnson, honestly, Brennan Johnson would cost you 40 million. They turned down 25 million from Brentford when they was in the Championship. You'd pay 40 million. Now, why pay 40 million for Brennan Johnson when you could pay 50 million for Leroy Sane, you know? Assassin, Curtis can't lie, you were seeing the Balogun hype from American fans. They want him so bad for the national team. It's a massive market for Arsenal. I'd sell Nketiah in the summer. Arsenal are going to have a big decision to make this summer. You've got Balogun, you've got Eddie, you've got Jesus. I don't believe all three of them stay at the football club. Because if I'm Balogun, I'm not going from first choice in France, probably going to get picked for the US national team, go to the World Cup. I'm not coming back to Arsenal to be third choice behind Eddie and Jesus. So you may have a decision to make. Now, at this stage, I've always said I think Balogun's got more talent than Eddie. But because Eddie's he's scored some goals in the Premier League, Balogun's done it abroad. I think until Balogun does it at Arsenal in the Prem, Arteta will put Nketiah ahead of Balogun. I think the smartest thing to do would be bring Balogun back for pre-season, let him prove himself. And if he does, then I think you sell Eddie on the hype. He scored a few goals. You sell him to West Ham or Palace or someone like that and get 20, 30 million for him if you can. But, you know, Edu selling him, will probably get about £7 for him and a meal deal. But anyway, Balogun has a huge ego, big problem. Big players have big egos. I'm not saying he is a big player yet, but that's something that's going to have to be handled at some stage by the manager. Curtis, would you sign Zaha still? Free transfer. I think he still has 2 good years in him. You know me, people. I've been Wilfried Zaha FC for a long time. I don't. And on a free, I get it. I just don't think he would. I think he wants to go and play. I don't think he would want to come to Arsenal and be a squad player. Apparently, he's been offered like 300 grand a week to go to Saudi as well. So I don't see Zaha coming to Arsenal. You know, I've been riding for that deal to happen for a long time, but that one ain't happening, man. It's I think I would have took him last year, but you know, now we're looking to win the league and do madness. I would probably leave that deal alone. I can't lie, and I am a big fan of Wilf. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about man like Martin Odegaard, people. Martin Odegaard is in talks with the club about signing a brand new 6-year contract with Arsenal. Martin Odegaard is on the verge of signing a new 6-year contract with the option of a 1-year extension. The contract would take him until 2030, which would make it the longest contract in Arsenal history. We are following the Chelsea model, people, you know, giving 7-8-year contracts out, the Mudryk contract. But listen, for me, I had question marks over this guy last year, and I'll be honest, the majority of those question marks have been removed. 24 years of age, captain, wasn't sure about him as a captain, thought he was a bit too nice to be a captain. He's been outstanding this season. You could argue he's possibly been the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League this season. I would have no issue with him signing a 6-7 year contract. He's part of the fabric. Said in an interview that he finally feels at home. He joined Real Madrid at 16, multiple loans, different countries, went to Holland, came back to Spain, then went to Arsenal. He said it feels like home. Get him on a long-term contract, protect the club, and protect him and keep him there. So I have no problem with it. Bleck said, big up Big C, sell Balogun, get another forward. Listen, I would like us to keep Balogun. However, I think if somebody offers big money for him, I'm talking like 45, 50 million, you've got to think that our highest ever transfer is 35 million, Alex Iwobi and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. We don't actually sell players for big money. If somebody offered 45 to 50 million for Balogun, I think the club would very much consider it. Rodri nearly snapped his ankle. That was dirty. We're lucky he got out of that challenge unscathed, man. Pep doing his dirty work and international duty, man. Big up EC. Get Ivan Toney. Listen, John, I would take Ivan Toney. You know, I'm a big fan. Made his debut for England yesterday. He's got his hearing with the FA in April. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that. Will he get banned? People asking for a poll on Balogun. What would you do with Balogun? Would you sell him? Would you keep him? Would you loan him out again? Or do you sell Eddie? I suppose keep him and sell Eddie is the same thing. But we'll put 4 up. We'll put 4. Sell him, keep him, loan him, sell Eddie. There you go. 4 options. What would you do with Balogun? I think we should keep him. What's the odds on us getting Ivan Toney? Well, we should ask him. He'd know, wouldn't he? He's probably bet on himself. He'll be banned in April once that hearing. He's already admitted guilty to 11 charges. Why not keep them all? Not for me. I don't think Eddie and Balogun, nah, not for me. I wouldn't keep all 3. I've got to be honest. If Arsenal wanted 3 strikers, I would say have Gabriel Jesus, keep a young striker, which I would probably keep Balogun, and then I would get a more experienced striker, somebody that can use as a bit more of a target man. So whether that was Ivan Toney, whether that's Vlahovic, a Mitrovic, I don't know, somebody like that. I would sell Eddie and Balogun, get a new striker. Yeah, similar to what I'm saying. I agree. Fitz said, big pounds in the bank doesn't win matches. Keep Balogun. I hear you. Listen, you've got to look at the striker market at the moment. This summer, everyone's going to try and sign Osimhen, right? Anyone who needs a striker is going to try and sign Osimhen. He's going to cost you over 100 million. Probably Harry Kane as well. If they don't get Champions League, he might not go. You look around world football right now, and you try and buy a decent striker, they'll cost you 50 million minimum. And they're not even nowhere near proven. You know, he scored more goals than Jonathan David in France. Jonathan David was being linked with 50, 60 million pound moves. Is it Evan Ferguson? A few of you have said. The young boy at Brighton. He's being linked with Manchester United today for big, big money. And he hasn't done that much. He looks good in the Prem. The going rate is minimum 50 million for these young strikers now. I think Arsenal need to be smart and keep Balogun. I know some people think I'm harsh on Eddie, and he did do quite well when he came into the team, but I think you can use the hype that he created with that run to potentially shift him. My worry is with Arsenal, they're probably more likely to sell Balogun. That's the crazy thing. It just feels like that. You know, not hearing anything from the manager about it. I could be completely wrong. I think he'll come back pre-season. They'll see if they get any big offers. They'll have a look at him and see how good he does. And then they'll probably make a decision. And also, he only has about a year left on his contract, I think. So the club would have to give him a new deal in order to keep him. He's going to want a significant pay rise as well. Rascuna said, madness to let Balogun go without being tested after his feats in France. I totally agree with that. How can you... And remember, we are a club that we love producing our own. How can you have it? He's 21 years of age. He's on loan in France, right? He's got 17 league goals and 1 assist. He's second top goal scorer in the French league behind Mbappe. I think it would be absolutely insane for Arsenal to just sell him without giving him an opportunity. Unless somebody puts unbelievable money on the table for him. Even then, you know, you don't want to sell him if you believe he's a top talent. So I agree. Young Gunner said, did you see England v Ukraine? Saka is miles clear. Mudryk, if we get Mitoma, we won't get anywhere. If we try to get Mitoma, we won't get anywhere. Not to worry, we're still friends. Oh, okay, you mean in terms of Brighton. Yeah, our negotiations will probably not work out. Eddie will leave it. Southern Gooner, big up to you, bro. Eddie got to go. Flo got to stay. Simple as that. I agree. Go with the flow, people. Go with the flow. Eddie, I've seen it. Yeah, he had a good run in the team. And then it dried up, no goals for 7, 8 games. I'm still not fully convinced. I would keep Balogun. Rai said I'd sell Eddie and go. I'd sell Eddie for good and Balogun with a buyback clause. I'd sell Eddie for good and Balogun so you'd sell both of them. That's interesting with a buyback clause on him. Big up Rai. Gonna roller said Curtis. Have you seen the kid Højlund? Is it Atalanta? Looks dynamite. I would sell Eddie and Balogun, go for Tony or Osimhen or that Højlund. Is it? I mean Osimhen's 120, 140, so we ain't getting him. As I said, Edu would go Napoli. He wouldn't come back. They'd kidnap him for his offers. Ivan Toney's gettable for me. And the young guy, is it Højlund? Yeah, I've heard a lot about him. I haven't seen much of him. We were being linked with him as well. But yeah, I've heard he's a very good young striker. Let me just have a look at that boy's stats. That Højlund. Højlund. Is that how you pronounce his name? Rasmus Højlund. Danish player. What are his stats this season? I know it's not all stats, but 7 goals, 23 games, although 15 starts. So I'm assuming it's his breakthrough season. I've seen his highlights. I don't think I've ever watched him live, to be honest. Man said, is that Haaland from Wish? It'd be typical Arsenal, innit? They've got Haaland, we get Højlund. Curtis, you think I will have the pleasure to see Eddie play in Washington? Probably, bro. Probably. I'm sure he'll be there. Eddie's going to America, man. Coming to America. I'm sure he'll be on tour. Rasmus. Højlund is serious. Got 5 goals in 2 Denmark matches. Scored back-to-back braces. Fair enough. Listen, I might be downplaying his talent. He's very raw. Ivan Toney for sure. McDowell's settings, man. Rai said, Curtis, I'd sell Eddie permanently. Balogun I'd sell too, but with a buyback, not Eddie. I've washed my hands with Eddie. He's done with him. So, yeah, interesting. Højlund, yeah, I'll try and watch a bit more of him and see how good he is, to be honest. I'm going to start rounding up shortly. A few people were saying that Foden is out injured. Phil Foden surgery, yeah. Yeah, apparently Phil Foden has had his appendix removed. Or he's had surgery on his appendix. And will miss the game against Liverpool. Now, some of you guys will know better than me. I mean, I don't know how long that will rule him out for. Haaland's dad, Alfie Haaland, has said that Erling is touch and go for the game this weekend, that he hasn't trained and that he may not be fit. He said he needs a few days training before he can return. So Foden, how long do you guys think he would be out for? I don't know. Some people saying could be 4 to 6 weeks. Won't be out for long. He'll miss a couple of games. Can be a crushing pain. He had emergency surgery to remove his appendix. I think that's what Laurie had, right? Laurie had his appendix removed. Appendix out is going to be at least 4 weeks. Usually 2 to 3 weeks for a normal job. In terms of football, maybe 5 to 6. George, I agree. I think Haaland will play. I think Haaland will play, man. I think it's all mind games. It's probably training behind closed doors somewhere. And Pep's trying to play mind games. They've got Liverpool on Saturday as well, which is interesting. I think it's appendicitis. Foden won't be out for long, 2 to 3 weeks. But 2 to 3 weeks could still be, 2 or 3 games. Foden's been in good form for Manchester City. The thing is, in that position, they do have a number of players that can play there. I'm gonna try and do a watch along for that on Saturday. Actually, I mean, I'm just looking. Man City's next few games: Liverpool, Southampton, then Bayern Munich, then Leicester, and then Bayern Munich again. So, yeah, may miss a few big Champions League games. Yeah, I probably will do a double watch along on Saturday, to be honest, because 12:30 on Saturday, City against Liverpool, and then 3 o'clock Arsenal against Leeds. So, yeah, we'll probably do back-to-back. On Saturday, so make sure you look out for that, people. Brandon said, Big C, would you swap winning the Prem this season to win the Champions League next season? Do you know what? I wouldn't. Even though I put out a TikTok the other day. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, by the way. We're putting out stuff on there. We're starting to grow on there. Curtis Shaw TV on TikTok. I said that I'd take the Champions League over the Prem. But the way you've asked the question, I wouldn't do that, because that means I got to wait another year. And I got to be honest, my patience is wearing thin with Arsenal. If we can win the Prem right now, give me the Prem right now. I can't wait another 12 months for the Champions League. Hopefully we win the Prem and then go on and win the Champions League eventually, you know. George said, sick of these 3 p.m. kickoffs. Make it make sense. We're top of the league. Every game should be on TV. We're not on TV in the UK this Saturday. We're top of the Premier League. Make it make sense. But let me not start going crazy about that. Anthony said he had his appendix burst. He had it removed. Was back on his feet in a few days. Staples removed after a week. He was 10 years old. Definitely not a pro. And you got to remember, can he physically... I'm sure people can recover in a week or two, but physical activity and being hit and challenged and things like that. Member stream was good, and my apologies to the last few of you who was on the member stream, because I got the times all wrong and I had to rush the last 3 or 4, so we're going to do another one probably next week. But it was a great member stream. Everyone spoke really well as usual, man. The team need to win something this season. They've done too well not to take anything. They need to be remembered. A lot of people have been having this debate. And do we... I think there was... I was supposed to be on Supporters Club last week. I couldn't make it. And I know Turkish... The thing was... I think it was, should we or must we win the league? I'm in the category of we must win the league. I think we need to win the league. For me, football and life in general, but definitely football doesn't care about your plan. So Arsenal, you know, Edu's saying we've got a 5-year plan. We're 3 years into it. And, you know, the aim is to win big trophies by the end of it. Listen, football doesn't care about your plan. You might have wanted it in 5 years, but you can win it right now. We're 10 games away from being champions. We can actually... Mathematically, we can win 9 of them and win the league if City win every one. This football club needs to be back at the top. They need it. They don't want it. They need it. Because if we finish second, it will feel like an unsuccessful season. It isn't in context of what was available at the start of the season. We would have all taken second. But at the end of the day... If I said 10 games to go, 8 points clear, okay, City have got a game in hand, you'd say, well, you've got to win the league from that position. You have to take... Life is about taking opportunities. Football is about taking opportunities. We have to take this opportunity. You're right, Cliff. If we finish second, every other fan base will be laughing at us. And it doesn't matter what they think, but the whole narrative amongst the media and the fan base will be, you bottled the title. And it will feel like a negative. We need to win the league. You have to find a way from this position. And I hope we do. Because like you've said, I'm not saying it in a negative way. A title win puts Saka in that level. It elevates everything at the football club. The finances, the media hype, the players that want to join us. It just makes us a giant again. And we need to be there. And I want Saka to be looked at like that. I want Martinelli. I want all these players to be remembered. Because the sad thing is, if we finish second, in 5 years, in 7 years, in 10 years, nobody will remember this season. Nobody will talk about it. Nobody will be interested in it. Nobody will go, oh, you remember 22, 23 when we were top until April. No one cares. They go, who won it? Oh, okay, they won it. We need to win it. We need to stamp out our authority and say, we're back. We've won the league. We've shocked everyone. And now we're coming for people's necks. We want the Champions League. We want the best players in the world. We're back, you know. Second does not do that for this football club. It can still elevate us. It can still... And listen, let's be honest. We were saying we need a Champions League last year. We finished 5th and we've gone on to potentially win the title. So it doesn't always work like that. But I just think this opportunity is so big. Next year, Man United will be better. They'll be taken over. They'll have money. Ten Hag's building. Chelsea keeps splashing. Liverpool could be taken over. Newcastle will spend. City will spend again. Win the league now. They deserve it. The manager deserves it. For all the crazy situations. You know, he becomes an iconic manager at Arsenal if he wins the Premier League. It's as simple as that. You could argue it's the greatest Premier League victory in Arsenal's history if he wins this, to be honest. For all the criticism, for all that I've given him, I don't hide from it. I take my, humble pie. He needs to win that title. He needs it. He deserves it. The players deserve it. The fans deserve it. I got to be honest. The fans deserve it. I'm sorry. I know you're not entitled to anything in football, but we have suffered as a fan base. Like, we have seriously suffered as a fan base, man. Like, it's been crazy. So, it will be unbelievable for everyone involved with the football club. We got to win it. We're bigger than City. We got to impose ourselves on them and show them what we're about. Keep winning. Keep putting the pressure on. I'm expecting a big favour from the Scousers on Saturday morning. That is for sure. I'm ending the Balogun poll. 47% say keep him. 26% say sell Eddie. 16% say sell Balogun. 8% say loan Balogun. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do a watch along on Saturday morning. We're going to do the Man City Liverpool game. Forgive me because I will be 100% scouse for that game. Brookside, Steven Gerrard, Robbie Fowler, Jamie Carragher, Darren Farley. Anything to do with Liverpool, I'm involved in that at 12:30 on Saturday. It is a scouse along, Nimbo. Come on, even if they draw and we beat Leeds in the afternoon, that would put us 10 points clear. I mean, please, come on. Luis Diaz back in training. All the best Liverpool players are back. It will definitely be You'll Never Walk Alone on Saturday. So we're going to do that watch along, have a short break, and then come back for the Arsenal against Leeds game. Listen, let me just read this and then we'll get out of here. Bleck said, we need that trophy more than it needs us. Second, maybe in the next 19 years. Edu and Josh must deliver the Champions League next year. Listen, like I said, and big up for the super chat, bro. If we win the title this year, everything elevates. All of a sudden, Edu, Arteta, Josh Kroenke, credit all around would have to be given. It would be iconic. I honestly think, outside of the Invincibles, because that's never been done, I think this would be the biggest Premier League that Arsenal have ever won. Because nobody thought we were really going to win the league after finishing 5th. It would take us to a whole new level. Like I said, I'd be cleaning out the armoury. I'll be in the armoury and I'll be playing supermarket sweep. It's all getting bought. I'll be looking like Thai people. Hat, gloves, t-shirt, cufflinks, everything. I'm buying the lot. So, listen, big week ahead. But listen, I'm glad that the international break's finishing. Let's get ourselves back to club football. That's it now. No international break till the end of the season. 10 games to win the title. Fitz said 89 is a great... I hear you, but obviously Prem, that was the old Division 1 won it until it changed to the Prem. So, but yeah, 89 obviously goes down in the history. Big up Fitz. Supermarket sweep settings, bro. I'm telling you. That's how I'm going on. Did someone say merch said earlier? Bro, next day deliveries all around, man. Next day deliveries all around. People, thank you very much for tuning in. The first 20 minutes, some of the comments were unbelievable. I might have to clip some of them for TikTok. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, Curtis Shaw TV. Follow the Clips channel as well. We'll be on every day this week. I'm not on AFTV today. I think we're doing Talk is Cheap towards the end of the week, possibly on Friday. So I won't be on there today. I think we're going to be on there on Friday this week. And, of course, watch-along settings on Saturday. We'll be doing Man City against Liverpool in the morning and then Arsenal against Leeds in the afternoon. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy your Monday. Have a good week. Have a positive week. Looking forward to the Arsenal game on Saturday. We'll be building up to that as the week goes on. And I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.